Thank you for coming together in community to recognize and observe the National Day for Remembrance and Action on Violence Against Women. 31 years ago, a man enacted a heinous crime of violence against 14 women, citing feminism as his cause. I am Dency, one of the many women proud to be pursuing an engineering degree in Canada today. As a leader in the Carleton student engineering community, I am continually encouraged to advocate for diversity and inclusivity of different genders and sexual orientations. Encouraging and supporting young girls as they find their passion for STEM can help shape their academic and professional careers. It can be as simple as teaching them how to make a paper airplane, or teaching them how to float in space. But it requires everyone's participation to help build their engineering foundation and support a more inclusive future. I ask that you remember moments like today where you can see and feel the gravity of gender-based violence. I ask you to actively work towards eradicating it in our community by getting involved, starting conversations, and taking actions. Take a moment to remember who you're doing this for and the lives that were lost on December 6th.
Hello everyone. On December the 6th, the Carleton community honors Canada's National Day of Remembrance and Action on Violence Against Women, a day that recognizes the horrific and damaging impacts of gender-based violence and aims to spread awareness and support for victims of gender-based violence everywhere. On this date, we remember the 14 women whose lives were tragically cut short by an act of gender-based violence at Montreal's École Polytechnique in 1989. 31 years ago, these young women were robbed of the opportunity to develop their passions for science and engineering, as well as their opportunity to lead long and impactful careers in STEM, simply because they were women. As a woman in engineering myself, and advocate for women in STEM, I've witnessed firsthand how young women and girls face additional barriers in pursuing their interests in science, technology, engineering, and math. Too often, these obstacles lead women to forgo their true calling, but by working together to promote change, we can help build and sustain healthy learning environments that support women in STEM within Canada and beyond. As with all fields, the future of STEM will be built upon a diversity of ideas and innovation. It is our collective responsibility to be part of the solution and to ensure that all persons are provided with equal opportunities.
Hello everybody, bonjour tout le monde. Thank you, Winnie, and many thanks to the Faculty of Engineering and Design, and indeed to everyone involved for organizing this important event and for including me. I would like to start by acknowledging that the land on which Carleton is situated is the unceded and unsurrendered territory of the Algonquin Nation. I also want to underline that this year, 2020, marks year 2 of the publication of Canada's National Inquiry into Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls. C'est important pour moi d'être ici et de me souvenir avec vous des événements tragiques du 6 décembre 1989 à l'École Polytechnique. It's really hard to believe that it's been 31 years since the terrible and tragic murder of 14 women killed specifically because they were women at École Polytechnique de Montréal. I'm from Montreal, and I vividly remember that day. It's important that we all remember that day. And as we remember these brutal murders, it's critical that we also acknowledge the less spectacular forms of gender-based violence that are all around us, often unseen. I grew up seeing gender-based violence up close, essentially every day in the home where I lived, and I still feel the shame of not being able to make it stop. This is rarely spoken about, but it needs to be said and repeated until it stops. As a community at Carleton, we're committed to maintaining a positive learning, working, and living environment where violence of any kind, very much including gender-based violence, is not tolerated and is treated with all the seriousness it deserves. There's much that can be done in our communities. December 6th is about honoring those who've experienced gender-based violence, but it's also about taking action. Our actions matter, and together we can continue to build Carleton's culture of respect. Today we're gathered in memory of Geneviève Bergeron, Hélène Colgan, Nathalie Croteau, Barbara Daigneault, Anne-Marie Edward, Maude Aviernick, Maryse Laganière, Maryse Leclerc, Anne-Marie Lemay, Sonia Pelletier, Michel Richard, Annie Saint-Arnaud, Annie Turcotte, et Barbara Kluschnik. Please join me in a moment of silence to honor their lives and all lives taken by gender-based violence. Merci beaucoup d'avoir été ici avec nous, c'est très apprécié. Thank you, everybody.